Good evening once again, and welcome to yet another edition of 10 Minutes with Ronald, special edition. Uh, it's been a rough day. It's been a really, really rough day. And it was a little bit because of, the stuff that actually happened today. I had a rough day, like in general. Work has been super busy, and it was tough at Starbucks. But man, oh man, when I this morning I was brushing my teeth and I saw people posting stuff about Alton Sterling, and I immediately I pulled out the video and I watched it while I was brushing my teeth, and I put my toothbrush down and I sat there and I looked at it, and I couldn't believe what I had just watched. And it was almost like it was brand new to me again. This is like brand new all over again. And then I got to work and I'm sitting there, and my coworkers are, hey man, how's it going? How was your weekend? How was your thing? All that stuff. And I'm like, man, this, I don't care about any of that. I don't want to talk to y'all about weekends or any of that stuff. And then I went to Starbucks and I'm making drinks. And while I'm at Starbucks on my 10-minute break, I saw the second video. And here's a video of this man. They're on top of him. They yell he has a gun. They shoot him and he's bleeding out of his chest. And they shoot him 2 or 3 more times. And the man's laying there bleeding out of his chest. And I mean, I'm almost numb to the actual action. I'm almost numb to his actual death, because what bothers me more is that now I have to defend why this was wrong to all the people who are out here thinking that the cops did something that was okay in this scenario. Like, as a black man, I don't know how many more times I have to watch. I don't know how many more times I have to watch black men or black people get shot and killed in the streets. Like, how many more times am I going to be forced to watch that? And then listen to somebody justify to me why that person is dead. Listen to my friends, listen to my coworkers, or anyone say, just listen to the cops and you'll be okay. Just listen to the cops, you'll be okay. And it bothers me because I'm like, I don't think they understand that could be me. Like, it doesn't have to be a thug. It doesn't have to be, someone of ill repute. Like, if you are black and you are subject to the same scenarios as white folks out there, I mean, we've seen white folks pull guns on cops and live. We've seen white folks shoot at cops and live. We've seen white folks wrestle with cops on speed, punch people in the face and live. But we've seen countless blackface after blackface after blackface shot and killed. And I don't know. The more I sit here and think about it, the more upset it makes me upset. And I don't understand how anybody else can't really, I don't get it. Like, I'm sorry. And I'm sorry to make you cry, Miss Platt. This is just, like, as a black man, and I got friends with black children, and you got daughters and sons, and you have to go out there, and now you have to have these conversations with them where you're still saying the same things. Like, if the cops come up to you, don't talk back. Like, be quiet. Don't do anything. Don't make any sudden moves. Don't reach anywhere. Don't walk anywhere. Don't say too much. Don't talk too loud. Don't wear a hoodie. Don't run. Don't wear a bathing suit. What can I do to not be attacked by the police? And everyone says, obey. And I'm like, it's not that simple. Oscar Grant was shot in cuffs on his face. And that's what I say every time people say comply. I'm like, Oscar Grant was in cuffs on his face. Why did he get shot? because the officer mistakenly pulled his gun. He didn't know his gun from his taser. And here we have a man who, and these cops are eager to shoot him. Eager. They tackled him, and then he automatically says to him, he goes, "Don't you effing move, I swear to God." That's what he says. "Don't you effing move, I swear to God." He wanted to do it. Like, he was ready to do it. Why is that his first resort? Why is your first resort to shoot him? Like, why is your first resort to shoot the man? Like, immediately they're like, well, we gotta put this dude down. Why? Why is that your first resort? Like, tase. Like, I mean, at this point, I would have much rather them release a beating video. If they released a beating video, I'd still be upset. But at the very least, at least I'd say, hey, he's not dead. Like, even when you watch the Rodney King video, I just watched it on the OJ documentary again. You watch that and I'm like, hey, you know what? At least he's not dead. Because now the status quo is that you die. If you get locked up, if you're Freddie Gray, you could die. If you're Sandra Bland, you could die. If you're Tamir Rice, mind is your own business, you could die. Like, every age. And everyone, like, I don't care how old you are or how young you are. If you're old, young, if you are black, if you are in vicinity of black people, they are at risk. And it's not like, and I don't want everybody to think we're just running around out here and cops are hunting us. But I'm just saying any interaction with the police can suddenly go bad for us in particular. This is not something we're making up. And this is nothing new. The only thing new is video cameras. That's the only thing new. The only thing new is video cameras. That is the only thing new about this entire scenario. The cops are not actually doing anything that they haven't done for dozens and dozens and dozens of years. The only thing new is video cameras. The only thing new is now that they can see it. And here we are having to explain to one another how to interact with the police. I don't know. I just... And Cabby just said they did taser him first, but it didn't work. I mean, when did they taser him? Did I miss that? Because I was watching the video, and I don't understand how they went from taser to gun that quickly. Like, I don't get it. Like, even at that point, I'm like, what was he doing? I'm sitting there watching a man. This is what I see in the video. He's standing in front of He's standing in front of a car. Someone tackles him. The cop tackles him. They put him on the ground. He puts a knee on his head, and next thing I know, he's shot. So if he was indeed tasered, I didn't see that. And if he was on the ground, I'm not sure why they were tasering him, because from what I could see, he didn't even look like he was resisting. And just to put it in perspective, in the other black lynching video when Eric Garner was on the ground, his hands were moving. So the cops were saying he was resisting. I'm sitting there looking at a man, I didn't see his hands moving. I just see him getting shot. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I feel like it's too soon that cops automatically jump to lethal force. That's what it looks like. If you watch the second video, it goes from a couple of gunshots to, like, there's 2 shots, and then all of a sudden you see 3 more shots, and I don't know where that came from. And then they pull the gun out of his pocket. I don't know. And I feel like at this point, I'm just recapping the video. I personally feel like if you guys glean anything from what I'm saying, we should not be in a society where we have to tell our kids how to not get shot by the police. That is not a society we should be living in. We should not be living in a society where it is the police who have all the power. And the problem is, everyone is telling us, well, the reality is you have to be prepared for the police to shoot you. That is wrong. That's the problem. That's the problem. Like, we now live in a society where we don't have a choice. Like, when you wake up in the morning, if you interact with, I got pulled over by the cops a couple months ago, and one of my cop friends told me this. He said, "Ronald, take your wallet out, put it on the dashboard, put both hands on the steering wheels, and roll down all your windows." I did that just per chance that this dude got feisty and decided that I needed to go down. You know, granted that interaction went fine, and to be honest, most of my interaction with the cops do go fine. But I'm saying I can't. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not possible for any of my interactions to go bad. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not possible for any of my interactions to go south. Like, I don't know. What if the cop starts doing something ridiculous? I'm like, hey man, don't do that. And he's like, well, he swung on me. I hit him. Last week, a couple of weeks ago, I was playing bubble ball. Bubble soccer is when you get inside these giant inflatable balls and you run around and hit each other. And it's real soft. It's a lot of fun. Look it up, Google it. Some cops showed up and they're like, hey, yo, let's play bubble soccer. And they were like, Ron, come play with the cops. And I said, no, sir. No, sir. And everyone laughed, but I was serious. Like, I'm not putting myself in a situation where there's a possibility that there might be a misunderstanding. Like I bump into the wrong cop. I'm not doing that. Like, we just don't have that, like, as black men, we don't have that luxury anymore. We don't have that luxury. That luxury is gone for all of us. That's the society that we're living in. And here I am defending, I have to go and defend Alton Sterling's right to live to everybody who said, I have to go and defend Alton Sterling's right to live to people who say he'd still be alive if he obeyed the cops. Like, do you know how many people disobey the cops and live? I don't understand why this is even a thing. I don't know. If you have kids, if you are black, if you love black people, there are black people in your lives, you really need to prepare them for the world that we live in, A, and B, I mean, we need to seek justice. This is outrageous now. Like, and actually it's not outrageous now. This was outrageous last year. This was outrageous in 2012. Like when Trayvon got shot, this was outrageous. Like this was outrageous. This was outrageous when Latasha Harms got shot. You know, like this was outrageous when Rodney King got beat up. The fact that we have it on video, it's outrageous. But this is the world that we live in now. I just feel like I don't know what needs to be said. I don't know what the solution is. But I do know is if you guys hear me venting, if you hear me saying stuff, I'm coming from a place of genuine hurt. Like this hurt me. Like I woke up this morning and I'm like, I'm going around and I'm looking at my coworkers and they're just acting like everything's normal and I'm hurt. I'm hurt. And James is right. The video, I mean, kids are watching it, but I mean, to be honest, it's probably no worse than all the other stuff that they're watching out there now. I mean, and it's unfortunate because this isn't the first snuff film we've seen. We saw the South Carolina man get shot in the back 5 times. Like, this isn't the first time. Like, we don't have, this isn't new anymore. Snuff videos of black people are not new anymore. Lynching videos of black people are not new anymore. This is not new to anybody. That's why it should be alarming. When you turn on a video and you guys are basically now saying, I don't even have to watch the video, that's because you've seen you've seen dozens of others. You've seen dozens of other videos and you don't need to watch the newest one because it's the same thing. Somebody gets shot, somebody dies, they're put on administrative leave, they find out they didn't do anything wrong, they don't convict them, everybody moves on, and they look at us, and then they rub it in our faces and say, oh, blue lives matter, all lives matter, oh, blood, I bleed blue, all that stuff. Like, no one's going after cops. Like, we're not going after cops. We're just saying, like, put in a just system. Put in a system that works. Like, help us, you know? Like, don't treat us like animals. Don't like look at us like we're some sort of apex predator or somebody that needs to be handled or tasered just because we're black. Like just because I'm a black man, a black woman, like somehow we're more dangerous than the general population. Criminals are dangerous. If they're an actual thug, they are dangerous. But it doesn't matter what race they are if they're an actual criminal, if they're a dangerous person. And we should not be subject to this type of profiling where you walk in and you immediately think that we've done something wrong and we need to be stopped. Like, why do we live in this type of world? Like, why do we live in this type of world? I'm gonna be honest. If you haven't watched the video, don't. Like, you don't need to. You don't need to watch it. Like, it's the same nonsense over and over again. It's the same thing that we always have to deal with. Don't watch it. Honestly, I mean, if you want to hear about it, ask me. I'll tell you. I watched it already. You don't need to. Like, it's just gonna make you upset. Like, I've gone through the litany of emotions all day today. I could barely make drinks because I didn't care about any of that. Like, I just didn't care. Like, I'm like, I just want this to stop happening. I don't want this to be a thing anymore. But it continues to be a thing over and over again. I mean, I don't know. I don't have much else to say. Everybody stay safe out there. Praying for all of y'all. I pray that God opens people's eyes, that people really see. And this is a real, to me, this is the real sign of the times. This is showing me that people just don't have love in their hearts at all anymore. And it's not just the cops I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that could be callous and watch the video and still think that for some reason Alton Sterling deserved to die. Like, I can't handle this anymore. I don't have much else to say. And just stay safe. Like, hug a black person tomorrow, please. Like, I mean, if y'all see me, I need hugs. But yeah, again, this has been 10 Minutes with Ronald, the show that nobody asked for and nobody's watching. Everybody take it easy.